You brought a lot of clarity to this issue when you drew the attention of the Honorable Minority Leader to the fact that at the consideration stage, we are not supposed to spark debate as if we are at the second reading of the bill. You are to justify each amendment that you have proposed and to persuade all of us to vote in favor of your amendment. Now, Right Honourable Speaker, he has said a lot of misleading things. These things are textually incorrect as far as the Constitution is concerned, because as you yourself drew his attention to the provision in Article 126 of the Constitution and 142, but let's start with 126. It provides an integrated judicial system that includes regional tribunals, and that also includes such lower courts or tribunals as Parliament may by law establish. And Mr. Speaker, this is exactly what we are doing. In terms of the regional tribunals, what we are doing is just simply amplifying the provisions of the Constitution in 126 and 124. In terms of the district tribunal, what we are simply doing is implementing 126 by creating a lower tribunal that will deal with criminal matters that have been specified in the bill, including those of illegal mining. So, Mr. Speaker, we are not creating a parallel justice system. We are simply amplifying what is provided for in the Constitution. Also, I'm happy that he says that it's a political argument that he's making and not a legal argument. You are making a political argument because the argument that he has made, yes. Right, Honourable Speaker. Let's even admit that it was a political legal argument. It is still at that level very unfounded. It is very unfounded because we are not creating a parallel system of justice. We are not creating a parallel system, a system of justice that will compete with the existing court system. In fact, constitutionally and textually, as I have pointed out, and historically, the tribunal system has been an integral part of our fourth Republican judiciary since 1993. So we are not creating any system of justice that will compete with the existing system, because the existing system, includes the traditional system. The tribunal system. So, Mr. Speaker, I think, Mr. Speaker, I think that the amendment proposed is unfounded and should be rejected by the House. Well, I'm not moving.
I rise to support the application of the Honourable Minority Leader, Mr. Speaker, that the entire clause 4 of the bill be deleted from the bill, Mr. Speaker. And indeed, clause 4 goes to the gravamen of the bill, the establishment of the tribunal system, Mr. Speaker, as this bill seeks to promulgate and establish. Mr. Speaker, I say so because when you look at Article 126 of our national constitution, as has been variously referred to, and which provides for, Mr. Speaker, the establishment of lower courts or tribunals as Parliament may by law established. Mr. Speaker, so legally the bill is properly grounded. However, Mr. Speaker, laws are to be established within a constitutional and democratic system in a way, Mr. Speaker, that will advance the ends of this Constitution, the 1992 Constitution, in its totality. And in its totality being, Mr. Speaker, that Ghana, as a democratic and constitutional state, should have a judicial system which is fit for purpose, which indeed, Mr. Speaker, will promote our democratic aspirations as a country, which is why, Mr. Speaker, the minority leader has rightly argued that Clause 4 of the bill be deleted. And in fact, Mr. Speaker, I will take it a step further. I'll take it a step further, Mr. Speaker, that the ongoing efforts to review our national constitution should actually consider amending Article 126 to take out Article 1261B and make it impossible for this House even to consider Clause 4 of this bill in the first place. To mean, Mr. Speaker, that we should not even have a tribunal system at all, which is why Clause 4 should be abolished. And Mr. Speaker, what is the reason? In all democratic societies in the world, and by that I refer with emphasis well-established democratic systems. Mr. Speaker, the judicial system is well structured and established. District courts, if you want community courts, you have it. Circuit courts, High Court, Court of Appeal, Supreme Court. If you lose at the Supreme Court, Mr. Speaker, you have a right of review. Mr. Speaker, I'm yet to be told in which established democratic dispensation in the world, whether in the Westminster system or the American system or North American system or our contemporaries in Africa like Kenya, Nigeria or other places, where they have a high court and have a regional tribunal and have a chairman of the tribunal and have two appointees more or less by the establishment, and that exercises jurisdiction which is almost coterminous to the High Court. Let them tell us today, Mr. Speaker. There's not like that. And that is why the minority is making the case that let us examine these clauses in its totality. In its totality, as we are dealing with a constitutional democratic country such as ours has been since 1993 to date. Mr. Speaker, let me conclude by urging on our friends from the majority side and urging on the respected Honorable Attorney General that sometimes, Mr. Speaker, when you sit on the right-hand side of the Speaker and you are arguing for the enactment of laws, you look at it with the greatest of respect, with the greatest of respect, and I say so with a lot of respect, from a narrower view, in terms of you seated on the right-hand side of the Speaker. But you make laws, Mr. Speaker, contemplating when you're on the left-hand side of the Speaker and the law has been enacted. Mr. Speaker, I shudder to refer this House to the enactment of willfully causing financial loss to the state. We are reliably informed, and Hansard will bear me out, that at the time the law was being enacted, some elements seated on the right-hand side of the Speaker cautioned about the nature of that law. And we all know how this law has been applied in our country. Mr. Speaker, this country, I want to conclude. We've had a district court, we've had a circuit court, we've had high court, we've had court of appeal, we've had Supreme Court. Our democracy has functioned and functioned well. If it's the question of dealing with backlog of cases, strengthen the judicial system, build more courts, as President Akufo-Addo built more than 100 courts, recruit more staff, recruit more lawyers, strengthen the institution, do not duplicate institutions. Let us rather strengthen the judicial system as we have it, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, we are inviting our friends to join us to support the minority leader's application for Clause 4 of the bill to be deleted, and as I have added, for this whole concept of the tribunal system to be jettisoned. Because, Mr. Speaker, if you look at it properly, it is alien to the aspirations of a constitutional and democratic society such as ours, as we practice in this Fourth Republic. The British Westminster system will bear me out. The American system will bear me out. All established democracies will bear me out. Mr. Speaker, we do not want a tribunal system. It shouldn't be an avenue to fast-track justice. Mr. Speaker, one innocent man jailed, Mr. Speaker, is worse than 99 guilty people freed. And it's been said, do not let us have any kangaroo court system in our country. What we have is fit for purpose, It's been so throughout this Fourth Republic. I so submit, and therefore, Mr. Speaker, let's support the minority leader's application to have this clause deleted. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.